If you knew how long I still waiting to get the opportunity to sit behind the steering wheel of a BMW 1M Coupe. Finally, I got the opportunity after 13 years waiting for that chance. I was always fascinated by that idea from a small, white, mean-looking M car like this one. And the question I always asked to myself over the whole 13 years was, this car really drive the way it looks? I mean, it really looks mean and mighty and fast. And after 1 hour sitting in these seats from this car, I need to say yes, it drives even better than I was thought. So much better. It is the best driving M car I experienced in my whole life, and I really drive them nearly all. So this is the purest M you can drive. And finally I got the opportunity to find out, one day I have time to review it and find out what's really all about this small warrior. M, and once again M. M is not just the way how this car drives. M is even more the way how this car looks like. I mean, take a look at it, please. It is, what do you want more from a BMW M car? That's an absolutely 200% BMW M design. Mean looking, wide, mighty looking, muscular. And they manage it somehow to keep a nice elegance in this small, mean looking chassis. I mean, this is BMW M at its finest. You can really not stand a long time in front of it without feeling that desire. I want to sit in, press the start button, find a nice twisty pass road, like for example we have it here, or a racetrack, and find one thing out. Can he keep the promise that he gave it to me when I take a look at him? Can he really inspire me? And believe me, yes, he can. This is a car for weekend warriors and enthusiasts. And what I also love about this design of this car, they are always on any centimeters, everywhere around the whole chassis. So many highlights, even more highlights than on a bigger chassis like that one from the BMW 7 Series. Let's take a look at these highlights. Let's start with the first highlight, the highlight on the front. So if you come a little bit deeper, you immediately see this nice looking front M bumper. This front bumper speaks M. This front bumper breathes M. I mean, take a look at it. It is full of big air inlets for a better cooling and better airflow. It looks nice. The way how this front bumper goes left and right on the side of these wide wheel arches, it is beautiful. I can really spend hours looking at it. It looks so nice. It is the best looking M front bumper I ever seen on an M car. And the next highlight is on the side. On the side view, we have two big highlights. This nice looking and wide wheel arches in front and in the back. 6 centimeters wider in the front and 7 centimeters wider in the back than the regular 1 Coupe. And the way how this wheel arch in the front flows into the chassis, including this classic M fin, it's wonderful. In the back it looks like you press it out from one shape. It fits great. And in case of this also, this 19-inch alloy wheels looks wonderful on this car. BMW guys and enthusiasts recognize them as the alloy wheel design from his bigger, older, legendary brother, the E46 M3 CSL. These are the most desirable alloy wheel design on the BMW guys. And also the side mirror that we have here is taken from his bigger brother, the E92 M3, and it fits minimum the same way good to this chassis like by his bigger brother. It is wonderful to take a look from any point of view, a view at this car. It is so nice looking. So finally, by the view on the back, there is no doubt anymore. This is an M car. You have, like any M car since E46 M3, 4 exhaust pipes and a mighty looking back rear spoiler. It looks so great with this, yeah, how should I call it? Fake diffuser without no function, but it looks great. And same story here, you have a fake outlet, no function, but it looks great. And what I really love about that back design is the way how this rear bumper floats into the side of this chassis. It looks so great, like you press it out from one shape. I can really stand here for hours and take a look at this view. It looks so great. We also have a boot spoiler. It is aftermarket, but it fits to the whole car. It doesn't do nothing wrong. It fits to the whole philosophy of this car. And I realize the more longer I'm standing here and talk to you about all that highlights and take a look at this, the driver in me awokes and say to me, you know what? Enough talking. Shut up. Sit in and drive and have fun. And that's what I want to do. So after you press your ass in these tight seats and you start the engine, this fulminant sounding and fulminant performing N54 engine, you realize how normally this car feels. It could be any regular BMW, and that's what is funny about it, you know? The way how it drives, like we drive it now, easy, doesn't fit to the looking of the car from the exterior. But then you realize from corner to corner how much reserve this car has. You start automatically to drive from corner to corner faster and faster, more sportier and more sportier. And after some kilometers, you press the M button at the steering wheel and everything is getting sharper. The whole philosophy of this car now comes on a spotlight. And this behavior from this engine, it is so old school big boost turbo engine. It reminds me extremely on my RB26 engine from the Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. The same spirit. You press the acceleration pedal and for a small second nothing happens, but then comes the boost and you have the feeling everybody will escalate in the next few seconds, milliseconds, and you are ready and you are focused to control the car, to get it back from the drift if we want to start to drift, because that's what you feel. You have the feeling at the back, this car will now start to drifting. And if you doesn't pay attention to it, it will bite you in your ass, because it's so full of angriness, so full of hate. This is really what an M sports car should be. Also, the whole sound, the whole noisiness in this interior, in this small interior, talks to you. I mean, the whole car talks to you. From the moment when you start the engine, it starts to talk to you in this M language, you know? And it's not hard to understand what you want to say to you. It talks to you about everything, about when comes the power, when comes the next corner, when do you lose the grip, do you have enough grip? All that information comes through the steering wheel and through the seats, and also to the noise that it makes. It is really one of the best and greatest M car. No, it is the best M car I've been ever driven. You cannot compare it to the newer M models because it's so much driver focused. Wow. I lose my words, you already see it. I need so to be focused at the whole situation on the street, because I'm driving right now a little bit more sportier. I want to take the corner a little bit more sportier, and you need to be prepared. You see, when the back comes up from this car, to catch it. any corner you want to escalate with the back, and that's what makes fun. That's really what makes fun, because it feels anytime like a competition, like the car want to have a competition with you, and that's really what makes fun, because that's a great car. And you know what people say about great cars, a really great car will bring you in trouble, and this is definitely one of those cars that can bring you in big trouble. That's an M car. That's Mr. M, you know. Never driven an M car that is so M like this one. Everything. This car speaks M. This car breathes M. Oh, I don't want to stop to drive it. I really have so much fun with that car. And it is, at the end, I must say, it is definitely one of my dream cars. It is that car that I want to have in my dream car garage, right there on the top, you know. So great how this car drives, so great how this car looks, how this car sounds, how this car feels. It do everything right from the start away, everything. What a great car. What I really love about this car is that it combines the best thing from the different automotive worlds. For example, it has the design, the classic German M design, a muscular, muscle European car. I mean, this is really one of the most muscular muscle car from Europe that I ever see. That's point one. Point two, the way how this engine performs, it's so old school JDM. It is really so old school JDM, and I'm loving it. It has so much character in it. Wow, I'm loving it. I get goosebumps. So, and the other thing is the philosophy. The philosophy of this car is, in my eyes, somehow the same philosophy like you have it, for example, by a Lotus Exige or a Lotus Elise. It is not the nicest one. It is not the most impressive one. It is not a car that shows your status, you know, and it's not really the practical one car. But it is a car that has only one thing to fulfill, and it is to make you happy, to make you smiling, just to drive. Just to drive. This car is just there to drive twisty roads, the sporty way, or racetracks. That's the whole philosophy of this car. It doesn't need to look nice. It's not practical, but it's damn fast, and it's so good on the corners, and even better on the straight line. It's good on the brakes. So much agile, wow, so much grip through the corners, and when you press the acceleration pedal in the middle of the corner, it starts to drift immediately. He want to play with you. It's like a dog, you know, like a dog that want to play with you. In the good way, but you need to pay attention, because if you don't pay attention, it could bite you, and that will hurt. Oh yes, that will hurt. So you automatically start to be prepared from corner to corner even more and more, because you want to see how much and how long you can play with that car. And this car rewards you with any corner that you made it. It rewards you even more and more. And your smile is getting bigger and bigger because that's what we need. That's what my soul needs. This is what a weekend warrior car should be. This is what I want to have from a car that I decide to buy to have fun, you know. And I mean that's all about M, you know. That's what M is. M is motorsport, you know. And yeah, this is really the meaning of M. Not all those brand new M4, M3, M5 or whatever. No, this is no more M. When you drive this car, you realize what M means. And it makes even harder for you when you change the car and you sit, for example, back behind the steering wheel from a newer M car. It makes it harder to you to like this other newer M car, because you see this, you enjoy this, you experience this, the whole philosophy of this car, and you say to yourself, okay, yes, now I understand this leather M by BMW. This is all what it means. One of the best cars I've ever driven. And I think there will be never again an M like this. Not from the way how it looks, and not from the way how it drives. What's also special is that you cannot drive this car sporty without to deactivate the traction control. As long as the traction control is fully activated, you cannot drive it sporty and fast, because as soon a little bit you're trying to go fast to the corners, the car starts to limitate the power. So you need to take it out, partial or completely. And then you can really experience the whole sportiness of this car. And what I like about this philosophy is, in case of this, it's not a car for everybody. This is a car for driving enthusiasts that has experience. So at the end, even if you have the money to buy this car, it's not for everybody. You need to know how to drive it if you really want to enjoy it in its full sporty philosophy. It means you need to deactivate the traction control to really experience the whole power and the whole potential that this car has through the corners. And that's also a thing that I really, really love about this car. It's not a car for everybody. You need to know how to drive a car, you know? That's great. So when you take a closer look to the interior, it's pretty the same interior like you have it in the regular one Coupe from BMW. There are 1-2 highlights that tells you, okay, this is an M. For example, starts with this steering wheel. It is an M steering wheel. It is thicker. It is grippier. It doesn't look nice. It really is one of the worstest BMW M steering wheels, but you doesn't have time to deal with that because you are busy the whole time to work with that steering wheel, and it goes well because it is grippy, it has the right size, just not the nicest steering wheel. And also the materials that you have here inside are different. I'm talking about the materials on the side, on the door panels, left and right, or for example here in the middle part at the cockpit, or also here by the shift knob. Everything around you is Alcantara, only not the steering wheel. And I think that will be the cherry on the top, if this steering wheel will be Alcantara. So you will have everywhere around you Alcantara, because Alcantara is always something special. It feels like premium motorsports, okay? And that will be fit great to this whole philosophy of this car. The rest is pretty regular BMW. The seats doesn't look special, to be honest, but they work great. They are comfortable, and they have a great side support. So the whole day when I was now driving fast through the corners, I have a great side support, and in case of this I don't need to bother myself with keep holding myself on the steering wheel. So I can really work on the steering wheel in case of this, and in case of this be more precisely to the corners. You know, sometimes you have car with a bad side support, and then when you drive fast to the corner, you need to keep yourself on the steering wheel, and the problem there is you cannot really turn precisely into the corners because too much power on the steering wheel, too much weight on the steering wheel from your body. But here, no problem, perfect. And in my eyes, the highlight from the whole interior is the gauge cluster, because it's so simple, it's so minimalistic. I have 2 round instruments and that's it. They tell me the RPM, the speed, and integrated in these 2 round instruments down there you have how much fuel left, and even more important, the temperature of the oil. Not from the cooling water, no, from the oil. Very important. In the middle part, a digital cluster that just tell you how late it is, what's the temperature outside, and how many kilometers this car has done until now, and that's it. And when I have a cockpit like this again in front of me, an old school cockpit, I realize how much complicated everything goes unnecessary to these modern days by the modern cars. Too much informations. No more this nice classic round instrument with the dials. No, now everything is with the display in front of you, and it's a virtual cockpit, and doesn't give you this how you want to call it, this philosophy from a sports car, like 2 simple round instruments in front of you. I mean, what do you want more from the interior from a car that has just one task, and that is to make you happy, to make you smiling when you drive it sporty, and to keep you enjoying the whole AM philosophy. What I really also love about this N54 engine, so in case of this car, it's, yes, when you press the acceleration pedal, the first few seconds nobody's at home, but then it comes with full angriness and hate, and it keeps this pressure, not like my M4 nearly until to the red corner and then it goes away. No, this one keep it until the maximum, until this point where you need to press the clutch pedal and shift the gear. You have the maximum boost pressure and no losing. And that's what what's really surprising by this car, because my M4 with the S54 engine, lose it around 6,000 RPM, you realize how much pressure immediately gone, and you need to change the gear to re-spool the turbo and have again the whole pressure and power. But here not. Here, good. My M4 reacts much faster. Here it took a little bit of time, but as soon the pressure comes, as soon the boost comes, it's unbelievable fast. It's unbelievable emotional, and that's what I love about it. You can tell what you want, but as long you didn't drive an 1M Coupe on a pass road like we drive it right now, on a more sportier way than regularly, you can drive whatever you want, M4, M5, M3. You've been not drive a real M car, because that's all about this 1M. That's what every BMW enthusiast has to do once in his life. And you will be not disappointed, believe me.